Hello and welcome to the Business Talk. I am your host, Tolo, the inimitable one, Mutaung. And this is where we're having conversation with different entrepreneurs to learn about their journey in business and also how do they make sure that they maintain longevity. And today we get into showbiz. We are recording from Dreamstream Studios, which is a hub of creatives. So Dreamstream actually offers everything you need to create your own online channel, live stream to multiple platforms. It enables you hybrid live link apps, host studio-based streams, and also you can enjoy your video on demand services. So check them out on all social media platforms. They are Dreamstream. So today I feel so privileged to be joined by a multi-talented South African actress. She's a TV presenter, talk show host, public and motivational speaker, businesswoman, and a mother. Her name is Zandi Nhlapo, who is affectionately known as Zandi Nhlapo. Her career is, in the media space industry, also spans for over 25 years. I know it's a long time.
Very long time. Good enough to have a graduated son or daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And welcome and thank you so much for making time to join us here.
Thank you for the invitation, Tolo. Thank you so much. And it is indeed a pleasure to be here.
Great. 25 years. I can't get over this. It's a long time in the industry. But I think the question is, how have you been able to make sure that you maintain such longevity?
25 years. It may be a little longer than that because I'm now rewinding to where we were at as a country, and it was at a euphoric time just after the democratic elections where everybody had put their first X ever on the voting ballot paper,
Everything was new.
Everything was new. Everything was euphoric. Everything was at a very happy stage. So that's why I'm like, okay, 25 years, it may be a little bit longer because I was in the cusp of that euphoria.
So we might be talking 30 years here.
We might be talking less than 30 years.
Okay.
But almost.
Yeah. And how did you make sure that you keep it this way for this long?
I think from a longevity perspective, for me, it's dipping in and out of the industry.
Okay.
When you have a certain portion and amount of years that you dedicate to, but also have something else that you're doing on the side. So you are able to remove yourself from the industry when it gets too heavy, because it does get too heavy at times. The consumption thereof of oneself gets a bit too heavy, then I shy away from it and I'm able to focus on all things corporate or all things business and then come back and miss it. It's like an ex-boyfriend I can't get over.
Keep coming back.
I keep coming back. It's that relationship where you're like, I can't get over this one. I think we're going to be in this relationship for a very, very long time. Yeah.
And I think then the question would be the relevance. How do you make sure that when you come back, you still become the household name, you still are relevant?
I don't think I've really ever paid much attention to relevance.
Okay.
To be quite honest with you, I do what the heart feels. I
so
follow
it's a passion thing.
Yeah, it's a passion thing. I follow my heart, and if what I'm doing at that point in time happens to be relevant, well, good for it. But it's never about trying to keep relevant, because that's subjective. What's relevant to you may not be relevant to me. I may be relevant to my peers, but I may also be an inspiration to others who are coming up.
True.
And some may not know me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So relevance is quite subjective. So I never follow the word. I never follow how things are done. I always follow my heart.
Sure. So and where did it all start?
Now you're taking me really back, and my memory is not that great. Well, it started really with a game show called Trio. To be quite honest, funny enough, a whole lot of people know me for continuity presenting, but I started presenting way before that. I had literally gone into the SABC, having accompanied someone who was going for auditions.
Okay.
And I bumped into this white lady who probably thought I had an interesting look. I don't know. And then she said, "Would you like to audition for a game show?" I'm like, "Audition?
Yeah.
Okay, fine, let's do it." I auditioned for I remember I used to have long braids.
Yeah.
I auditioned for the game show, got it, and then eventually I moved on to a music show, and then I went into continuity presenting. But people obviously know me for continuity presenting. Yeah.
But I think it makes sense in that with continuity presenting, it was more of like a daily thing where you are really part of our daily lives.
I was in your face daily.
Yeah. and how was that for you?
But even with the music show, it was a Monday to Friday music show, you know?
Is it?
Yes. Monday to Thursday. Yeah, Monday to Thursday.
So it was a daily thing, and anyway.
Yeah, it was pre-recorded. You know, I mean, we'd have music videos everywhere, have link ups, and we'd do it from different parts of the country.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so it was a touring one.
So it meant you travel as well.
Yeah, it made me travel South Africa.
Yeah. Sure, and that must have been fun. I mean, exploring the country.
Yeah, but I still believe that I have not seen all the nooks and crannies of the country.
That is true, because our country has so much to offer. Yeah. And how different was it from moving from presenting a show to continuity presenting?
Oh, super different. Super different.
Yeah.
Now you need to understand that continuity is live. You know. Everything
so
that
there's
you
no
do,
second take.
you're as good as your last link.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So much pressure.
You are as good as your last link. I think the beauty about life is the ability to fix it in the next link.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the nerves, you know, that like the nerves never, ever go away. Because ultimately, you know for a fact, you at that point in time, you are watched by maybe 6 to 10 million people at a time. And whatever it is that you say has an impact immediately until you come back and fix it, or come back and, I don't know.
Or you never get a chance to
breathe again, you know.
Yeah.
So it was super different. It was exhilarating. It was challenging.
Yeah.
It was different. You know, with pre-recorded, you can always cut. There was no cut in live. You say what you say, and you say it now, and that's what you've said.
That's it.
Yeah.
And when you look back, you know, some of the challenges that you had to endure, and how did you maneuver those challenges?
I think the challenges more than anything would be no one prepares you for that amount of fame for me. So it made me become a bit of a recluse because you wouldn't see me anywhere. You wouldn't see me at events. You're like, I hated fame.
Sure.
Thoroughly.
Yeah.
I hated it. It was the bane of my existence just to wake up and think, oh my gosh, not this again. You know? But it was a job that I loved doing, which was the irony, because the challenge of being that famous means you can't do much without being watched.
Yeah.
Even if you are going to the toilet, even if you are going to the supermarket, even wherever, you know. So those were the type of challenges. But to be quite honest, I didn't experience that much challenges because also I didn't expose myself that much.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So was it intentional that I will not expose myself, or is it part of your personality that, you know, as much as you're doing the work that is of more of extroverted people, but you probably more of an introvert?
I'm more of an introvert than anything, to be quite honest with you. I love my four walls and my bed are my best friend. And I keep to the same people for the longest time. So I've had the same friendships for over decades, you know. And I think also people's energies used to get to me very easily.
Okay.
Like I would walk into a room and I would literally see a cloud of energies and I couldn't be able to take it. So I prefer to either be in a space that's controlled and familiar
Yeah.
or at home sleeping.
Yeah.
You know, so I've as much as I was doing an extroverted type of job, very much an introvert.
And let's take a moment, perhaps, and this might be challenging because you've done a lot of work, just to look at some of your highlights. When you look back, some things that come to mind as your highlights that you can share with us.
Highlights. Sheesh, that's a bit of a tough one because I think my highlights were one of my biggest highlights, right? And I remember the moment so vividly was when I met Winnie Mandela and how I met her also. That for me, that was the highlight of my career. I was like, oh my gosh, so my career can do things
Take
like
me to
that.
these places.
Because like literally it was Miss South Africa sitting on the front row with my firstborn daughter.
Okay.
Children were not supposed to be there, but yeah, she was. And then the pageant ends.
Yeah.
As it ends, the stage, now because I was sitting on the front row, when you leave, obviously the stage will be behind you.
Yes.
But I see Winnie Mandela, and in all my interviews, I had said, oh my gosh, I love this woman so much. Ganti, she's seen a couple of my interviews. And then the next thing, she's moving towards the stage. But I'm like, where could she be going? Because there's absolutely
done.
nothing happening there. She was coming to me. My goodness, I was starstruck. To say, so I see her securities, they're moving the chairs, and she's coming forward, and she gets to me and she opens her arms and she says, "You remind me so much of myself when I was younger, and I've heard that you love me, so I was actually supposed to come to your house and pay you a surprise visit." I'm like, "Can we go back? Rewind, please." Can we go back? Can I rather open my door and find you there? And she gave me the warmest hug, and I still have the picture today. And I had a camera, small little camera. Gave it to her security, and I said, "Take a picture.
We have to capture this moment."
And I still have the picture. Oh, wow. That was one of my. I think my highlights are more people driven than anything, than things.
Okay.
Material. And my highlights also is the shock I would actually get every time you get on stage and people go mad over you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, is this the impact that we have? I get the fact that continuity is big, but wow, guys, this is a bit too much. So those are part of my highlights that I can think of.
Yeah, sure. Those are incredible, and I mean you have such impeccable beauty, and your smile is so infectious, and one would want to always look at you and watch you, and these are the things that really stood out, every time one saw you on screen. But also, what was interesting is that you always maintain your short hair. Was that intentional? Was it planned?
To cut my hair was not planned.
Yeah.
But to have it stay this way forever now, and I don't think I'm ever going to grow my hair. I've tried in the past couple of years. But oh my gosh, no. I've got a lot of hair and it's a little bit hard to manage also.
Okay.
But going back to how I actually got to have short hair.
Yeah.
So at SABC then when I was a senior presenter, you know how we sign these contracts and we never really look at the fine print.
That now I'm getting cared.
Yeah. So my then boss says to me, because I think in all honesty, my previous boss had just a couple of guinea pigs that he could try things on. Like it was. I think he had the most fun than we did.
Yeah.
Because he took the brand in different directions, in new ways, And he said to me, you need to cut my, at that point in time, I was married.
Okay.
You need to shave your head.
Dreamstream, a place to create yourself. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full-service studio. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full-service studio. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself.
I said, shave my head. People who are bereaved are the ones who shave their heads. What do you mean, shave your head? No, I can't do that. And I'm married.
And I'm going to be on TV.
Yeah, and so I have to ask my husband, by the way. And he said to me, no, actually, we own you as a channel.
Oh, goodness.
We own your image, that is. So your contract says so.
So what was the reasoning behind that you should shave?
Oh, just a new wave.
Oh, okay.
We're just doing something
different.
new. And I'm the guinea pig.
Ash.
So I said, okay, that's fine. I didn't have any trepidations about it. I didn't care, actually, to be quite honest. I mean, I was a guinea pig with so many other looks, you know. So I figured, okay, fine, sharp. All right, then let's do it. Oh, my goodness. Did my ex-husband not almost have a hernia burst?
So you didn't get to discuss with him first?
No, I didn't, because I knew it was going to be a flat no.
Yeah.
So I shaved it, and I think it was the first time South Africa saw a bald woman on TV. And then I just kept it there.
Yeah.
I just thought, no, man, this actually is even cheaper.
Easy to maintain.
It's a bit cheaper. I've been paying too much money for all these long hair. And I was like, no. Okay, I think I'm going to keep it.
This.
I'm keeping this. So I'd grow it just a bit and then go back to almost bald.
Yeah.
So, and then I tried a couple of years ago, I think about 5 years ago, to grow it. And I figured, no, I actually don't like hair. Period.
Interesting. And it worked, hey? It really
you.
worked. So one of the things that are really outstanding, I think when we got the concept of It Girl, you are one of the pioneers, you know, that even in our generation, I must say, because you look at the likes of Bonama Mateba, who said, you know, they grew up looking up to you, you know.
What is an It Girl? By the way, because I've never understood that concept, but here we are.
I would say it's somebody whom the young ones and the ones at their age look up to them for something that is outstanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
for the first time, someone is defining it for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So somebody who will be a household name, somebody that, you know, a person will wake up in the morning thinking, but Zandi will not wear this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. All right. What was the question?
So the question is that being that, you know, from that time and having, you know, the young ones that became big, that were looking up to you, you know, for you, what does it mean in terms of how you were able to carry yourself and carry your career?
I don't think it was a conscious effort to being the It Girl.
Yeah.
I think what you may term as an It Girl is someone that people can identify with. And I would like to think that I was that person, much like you said, thrust in your face every single day. But the difference and the core of it was that I was the most genuine. Not the most genuine, but I was at my most genuine.
Yeah.
To me, when I was on air, I was talking to my peers, to my sisters, to my... Do you understand? So there was never a viewer.
You and relate with you. Okay.
So that automatically then puts you on an it. I was not conscious that I am an it girl, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I think the height of my fame, I was even too humble to a fault, you know. I could have never woken up one day and say, I'm it,
Yeah.
you know. So it was never a thing for me. But I'm glad that it inspired someone.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad that it piqued somebody's interest in something. I am grateful that people like Bonang, as much as you say, will mention that, you know, you're an inspiration. We looked up to you. The reason why we're here. My gratitude with that comes from a point where I look back and I say, I am so grateful that someone or some people took the baton consciously
Yeah.
and ran with it with intent, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm making something surmountable of it. Because if I was an it girl and I was very aware of it, God damn it, I would have made a lot of money. But it wasn't a way.
Way much.
It wasn't a way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But, you know, smart, intelligent, young people like Bonang, the Bonangs of the world, have intently done that to say, we are taking this bait and guess what?
We're taking
We are
it
going to milk it. Do you know what I mean? And I am so gobsmacked by that. And I'm like, okay, so we started the thing. You're starting a band, baby, starting a band. You know? So yeah, I'm just grateful, and I am eternally appreciative of it, you know. Can you imagine if you had done something all your life and no one noticed?
Yeah. It yeah.
And also you were doing it publicly and no one noticed, you know?
Sure. Yeah, that is powerful. That is powerful. So you also got into the pageantry space and modeling.
That was before I even got on TV.
Is it?
Yeah.
And how did you get there? How was it for you?
I didn't like it.
Is it?
I didn't enjoy it. I think I did 1 or 2 pageants. And that was it. And also, maybe I stopped also because I was a teen mom. You know, I got pregnant at 18. So that was it, screeching halt. Well, you are not going to enter any pageant after that. You know. But pageantry, I didn't enjoy it. I think I felt cold more than anything. Then it got a little.
So
Yeah.
this
This
is
is
how I'm
not
going
for
to
me.
pursue.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And I think that is so powerful that because many a times we do things because people tell us that we can be good in them, and we don't get to be truthful to ourselves that this is not for me, and we just move away from it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So earlier you mentioned that one of the reasons you know you stayed longer was that you would leave, you know, the public space and do other things. And in planning that, would you be intentional in terms of, you know, I'm leaving now, this is how long I'm going to take, this is what I'm going to do? Or is it because you'll find yourself maybe in a certain point in your life where you want to adjust things? How would that come about?
Firstly, how I ended up starting a business, or how I ended up getting into business, was because I was really tired of fame. Like, it had got, you know, fame is a monster, guys. Fame is a monster that can devour you without you even knowing that it's doing that.
Sure.
You know, where you lose yourself. And I wasn't enjoying fame anymore, you know, and I got pregnant.
But how people the people will
I don't know why
die
people want to be famous.
to get into that
I
space.
honestly don't know why people want to be famous. For the life of me, I don't. I don't get it. What do you want to do there? What do you want to do there? I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. It's, I don't know. Fame is like an invisible beast to me.
I know of people who have been really famous, and when they lost it, they even fell into depression because now it's more of they get into a restaurant, nobody pays attention.
Do you see the
they
beast?
used to, or they
Do you see the beast?
they get to a petrol station, nobody saying anything.
Do you see the beast? Because then it defines you. Then that's who you become. Without it, then you're nothing, or you feel like nothing. It never defined me. It never defined who I was. I actually hated it. I guess this is the reason why I would never attend events. I'd never attend parties. You could hardly ever find me anyway because of it. And it just, for me, it felt like it makes you feel like a consumable thing.
Okay.
So a consumable thing, you can consume it and discard it after that. And I had gotten to a point where I'm like, you are divile shem and I can't. So, and then I got pregnant. So when I got pregnant with my second child, my then boss said to me, okay, go give birth, come back. I said, I'm not coming back here. I'm not coming back on screen. I'm sorry. I'm going to start my life from scratch. And I went and I started a company with two of my friends and Somizi, funny enough. And Somizi, that fell through. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Zandi, you're in doo-doos. What do we do now? And then a friend of mine told me, no, there's a company that's looking for a black partner in branding logistics. I knew I was going to land in marketing. I mean, because if you think about it, TV and marketing are almost the same thing. They're not the same thing, but it's in the same realm, So I then went and I became a partner in a branding logistics company. Then I thought, I have a neck for this business thing. Let me resuscitate that liquid image consulting company. Then I started the company on my own.
Okay.
And because I didn't want it to be a competitor to the company that I was with as a branding logistic company, I focused on events.
Oh, okay.
Then I branched into events, and to date, I've worked with some of the most amazing multinational brands. And yeah.
Sure. That's incredible.
And it's just I pushed until I got to where I wanted. Started as a small company, and at some point when I was in the doo-doos, I ended up going back home, having to restart, like literally from scratch.
Sure.
Potter's house, and be rebuilt again. That's when I found my relationship with God again, because that's all I relied on, I stayed at home, nobody knew. Funny enough, the story has never been told. This is how private I've been, so you'd never know what happened to me. Went back, and there's nothing wrong with starting over, guys. If there's one thing that I know for a fact, nothing wrong with starting over, because life does that. It can't be a steadfast, steady line. It has to go in graphs. So I went back home. I started from scratch. Didn't have money for shit, but my faith, hope, and resilience got me out of that. So by the time I started, I sold my shares in the other company. Yeah, because I was very unhappy about the way things were done, or rather the way Black people were treated. I was like, there's no way I'm part of this. Thank you, bye. I sold my shares there. And then I started my own company. I started my own company, garaging, with a little notepad, ekana. writing all sorts of proposals, until a multinational company someone from in there decided to give me a shot. And I never looked back since. And I've been working like that hard to date.
So that sounds like rock bottom.
Rock bottom,
and
absolutely.
And picking up.
Yeah.
And moving from
Dreamstream, a place to create yourself. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full-service studio. Record video, music, and podcasts in our full-service studio. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself.
where you were at a position you were well off, and to that point, what kept you going to an extent of saying, I can still go further?
Faith.
Because generally one would give up and say,
Faith. I knew that's not what I'm built for. Because really, I really could have given up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm back home. I might as well, throw the towel in, or have it around my waist also. But I knew I was not built for that. I knew I was built for something bigger. I moved out of home at 18. I knew I didn't belong home. I knew that my trajectory and my forecast and what I meant to be in life is much bigger than being Kokaraj, feeling sorry for myself.
sure.
I wasn't going to feel sorry for myself. I wasn't going to feel pity for myself.
Yeah.
I was going to get myself out there and hustle until I get what I want.
And then you have people that know where you have been, that seeing where you are now, saying things, looking at you in a certain way. Such things, mentally would take a certain punch on you. How do you maintain your mental wellness in such a space?
Look, coming from where I come from, where the worst thing that could have been said about you was on page 3 every Sunday.
Hey, and at the time you're in the front page, your pictures on the front page.
Yeah, and you're like, we all knew that if no journalist has called you on Thursday, you've escaped.
You're safe.
You're safe for the weekend until they call you the next time. And if you've survived page 3, surely it took something for you to survive.
Yeah.
You generate a thick skin.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I went back home, I was one of the biggest names in the country. Okay? And having to go back home and go start over, that could have easily finished me. But because I had never been for the people to consume, or I'd never pitched myself in that regard. You see what I'm saying when I say fame? Had it been that, oh my goodness, Zandi she's starting all over, life imushapile, I probably would have just keeled over, But because I didn't believe in that, I believed, so what? Zandi's starting over again. So does a whole lot of people, and it wouldn't define me. And so even later in life, when things happen and things are said, and it's very hard to get through to me.
Yeah.
Even harder now. Even much harder now.
Yeah.
It was hard to get through to me then. I'm not very penetratable, emotion-wise.
Yeah.
No, shame. You're gonna have to try harder.
Like that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to try. And regardless of what people say, I hardly ever care what people say. I've never cared then. I'm not going to start it now when my life is about to be finished. Oh, no.
Because you keep moving.
Yeah, you keep it moving.
Sure. That is quite a profound thing for me to learn as well, because especially living now in the social media space,
You
it's easy
guys.
to pay attention to all of the noises that is happening and forget who you are and what is it that you want and what really you are about.
I think the biggest thing to do and to learn is to center yourself in a power you believe can pull you out of things. And for me, that power is God.
Yeah.
You know? And if you center yourself in that regard, you know where to go. When when you know, oh, I'm fumbling here, I could easily lose my balance. You know where to go. You have to have a source to go to.
Yeah.
It's absolutely imperative.
Sure.
Imperative. Otherwise, you can be blown by any wind.
Yeah.
You can really be blown by any wind. So it's super imperative to have a source that you go to when all else is failing. This is the one thing that is going to get me out of the situation. And for me, I prayed, man. I prayed my way out of a lot of things in my life. A lot of things.
Sure. So you're starting in the garage and you're starting pushing business. At what point did you then realize that, okay, now I'm getting back on my feet?
At a point where you move from the house to an office. When you start having employees, when you start having a team. And my eldest daughter was a very integral part of my growth as well. Because she then had kids at a very early age as well, which I didn't approve then, but hey, what can I do? So I said to her, you know what? I'm not going to clip your wings because you've had kids. I know how hard it is to raise kids as a young woman. So give me your kids, let me raise them while you take care of business. This is the business, and let's see what we do.
Yeah.
I'll be active, but not fully, So then she started running things from the background and in a way helped build the brand, Liquid Image, but I'd also be the one who is at the forefront to go client facing because I am the face of the company, So that's how we grew.
Sure.
To where we are.
That is really smart. That is really smart.
Thank you.
and in general, how fulfilling has business been for you?
It's got its ups and downs, It's got its ups and downs. I think the one thing about business, though, if you are to be fulfilled about business, I don't think there's any business person who's ever fulfilled about business. You're always seeking more.
Yeah.
You always, and it's a good place to be when you're always seeking more. At least you have something to be able to seek more. If you are seeking more, then you have something.
So it's more you have a reason to wake up in the morning.
Yeah, you have a reason. You have a reason to wake up in the morning, but also, I think the most important part is to learn not to put your eggs in one basket. I'm now at a point where I'm having various interests, business interests. I'm interested in energy, which is not something that my business focus was about. I even went to Germany to just go learn more about energy. I'm interested in quite a number of different businesses now that ideally I would
not think of.
Would never even look at them twice. I'm like, marketing is great. We sell you the pretty pictures and we deliver the pretty pictures. But now that I know I've got the ability to do that with my eyes closed, let me venture into something else, a terrain that I've never really even dreamt of swimming in,
Yeah.
And that's exciting. But fulfillment, you get fulfilled by conquering something, conquering something. Every day you wake up to conquer a certain something, to feel a business objective that you have made for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like us to move now to a space of being a mom.
A mom and a granny.
Yeah.
Granny.
I shouldn't forget that. And I want to quote what you had posted on your Instagram, that I quote, "Raising and loving them has been my highest calling and best role to be called upon to see through thus far." Close quote. You know, that's so powerful.
Well, I've been a mom since 18, right? So I don't remember doing anything else.
Yeah.
I often wonder how, even when the country started knowing me, I was already a mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I often wonder, Oguti, had it not been being a young mom, how my life would have turned out. I probably would have dabbled into drugs, but I had way too much responsibility to be dabbling into drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is that I would have become. Therefore, they really define my life. I'm getting to a point of an empty nest now. I don't know what to do with myself.
Is it because now they're growing and they're starting to move and do
The
their
last
stuff?
one is going to boarding school next year.
no, yeah.
So it's an emptiness. The second last one is at UCT. She's far away. Ntando lives in her own house.
So nice, a totally new chapter of your life.
Empty nest.
Oh my
I'm like,
goodness.
I've been focusing on these little people my entire life. And now they are getting gone. What am I going to do? So I'm still dabbling with the reality
Yeah.
of the emptiness. I'm like, do I sell the house? Do I downscale? Do I go into? I don't know. What do I
But
keep
something
the house?
has to happen.
Something needs to happen. No, mom, but you can't sell the house because for a kaya.
Yeah.
What is a kaya? I'm like, oh gosh. So
Yeah.
I've been defined by them for the longest time.
Oh my goodness.
And now it's like, whoa, okay. Shit. She's going to boarding school. The last one is going to boarding school. What now? Is it just the dogs now?
Yeah.
So...
And as you say that you've been a mom quite early in your life, and in starting your career, you have been busy. And modern moms always, have a challenge of balancing the two. How have you been able to do it over the years?
Balance?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a foreign word.
What is balance? I would laugh for someone to tell me what balance is, because I don't know what balance is, Betu. I don't, okay? I swim or sink, man. That's it. I don't think you ever quite find the balance.
Yeah.
You just do what you know. And when you know better, you do better.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a trial and error.
Sure.
And also remember, I've never met these people before. I've never been a mom at 18 before.
Yeah.
So
It's on you.
It's dude,
You have to figure it out.
Oh my God. So like, what do I do now? So everything has its own first time. Even the ones after her have their own first time. I'm probably a different mom I was than to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the last one, I'm probably the different mom than I was to both of the elder ones. So it's a trial and error and everyday learning about each other and growing together. But it's like having your best friends and raising them.
Yeah. Sure. It sounds like it's incredible, especially because there's a saying that it's nicer to grow up with your children because you can even relate to them. And for you, how was that like?
My kids are my best friends. My kids are they piss me off sometimes. They irritate me sometimes, and I'm sure I irritate them too. I'm sure I piss them off too. But I don't think we could ever live without each other.
Yeah.
as I'm saying, now I'm facing an emptiness and I'm thinking, what am I going to do with my life? So I'm thinking, okay, Zandi, maybe what you need to do is travel a little more, ma'am. you know?
See,
But I'm like, so how do I travel without them?
Eish.
We were looking at holiday packages not so long ago. Spanning, I have a lot of girls. Okay. And I looked at the prices and I was like, guys, is this because there's just so many of us?
Yeah.
Come on now. you know. I've grown up with my best friends and I love it.
Sure. Incredible. So you time is it's really jealous.
I could never go to any interview and be on time and we finish an interview on time.
Because there's so many layers to you. There's so many layers to you.
There's just so much to say.
But this has been such an incredible experience for me, and I think also the viewers and listeners would really love this. Because I'm realizing now that you've entertained us, you have inspired us, you've challenged us, you've motivated us. It's been such an incredible journey for you, but also that has rubbed on us, on us. Given that we followed your work, we've experienced the work and seen you so in so different levels and spaces, and what can we expect from you in the future if there's anything that you're able to share with us at the moment?
I wanna get into production, and I wanna carry on with the talk shows. Yeah. I wanna delve more into talk. I think I've dabbled in it not so long ago, and I was thinking, yeah, this is a genre actually that I had done previously, but that's not what I was thinking I was doing at that point, because it was a cooking show and it was a talking cooking show.
Yeah.
But I wanna delve into talk now more than ever. I wanna tell stories. I wanna tell South African stories in a South African way, beyond just talk. That we've got, like you said, we're a rich country. There's so much to tell. There's so many stories to tell. So that's what I wanna do. I wanna tell stories now. I wanna tell stories at my leisure also, and I want to stress a little less and do things that blow my skirt up more. And work a little less, and do things that are exhilarating and breathtaking for me. Yeah.
Incredible. Sure. Zandi, thank you so much.
And maybe meet someone somewhere.
Sending out to the universe from your...
Sending it out to the universe.
Yes.
Right?
She is a multi-talented South African actress, a TV presenter, talk show host, public and motivational speaker, businesswoman, and a mother. And of course, our inspiration and motivation on daily basis, particularly when you are in showbiz. So, Zandi, thank you so much for making time for us.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Appreciate it, and appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much for the invitation, and goodbye to your listeners and also viewers, and thank you for the warm comfort that I've gotten today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's how we're wrapping up today. Until the next episode, do stay tuned.